In the heart of the dense whispering pines forest, where the trees loomed tall and the shadows danced in the moonlight, there stood an old, dilapidated cabin. Its weather-beaten walls bore the scars of time, and its windows were shattered, like empty eye sockets staring out into the darkness. Locals spoke of it only in hushed tones, for it was said to be haunted by the restless spirits of those who had met their untimely end within its decaying walls. The legends whispered of tormented souls trapped in a never-ending cycle of anguish and despair, their anguished cries echoing through the night like a haunting melody. Among the residents of the nearby town, the cabin was a place of dread and superstition, a dark omen to be avoided at all costs. But for Sarah, a young woman with a fascination for the macabre and an insatiable thirst for adventure, the cabin held an irresistible allure. Drawn by the tantalizing whispers of the forest and the promise of uncovering its secrets, she gathered a group of friends and set out on a moonless night, determined to explore the forbidden depths of Whispering Pines. Armed with flashlights and hearts pounding with excitement and trepidation, they ventured into the depths of the forest, the tangled undergrowth clawing at their ankles as they navigated the winding trails. The air was thick with the scent of pine needles and damp earth, and the distant hoot of an owl echoed through the trees like a mournful lament. But despite the growing sense of unease that gnawed at their senses, Sarah and her companions pressed on, their curiosity driving them ever deeper into the heart of the darkness. As they approached the clearing where the cabin stood, a chill swept through the air, sending shivers down their spines. The moon cast an ethereal glow over the landscape, illuminating the cabin in an eerie light. Its windows were boarded up, and the door hung off its hinges, beckoning them to enter its dark embrace. Ignoring the warning signs, Sarah pushed open the creaking door and stepped inside, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and fear. The interior of the cabin was shrouded in darkness, the air heavy with the scent of decay. Cobwebs hung from the rafters like ghostly tapestries, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet as they ventured further into the gloom. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meaning lost to time, and the air seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. As they explored the abandoned rooms, strange noises echoed through the cabin, whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Sarah's friends grew increasingly uneasy, their nerves frayed by the oppressive atmosphere. But Sarah was undeterred, her curiosity driving her deeper into the heart of the cabin. In the attic, they discovered a collection of old photographs scattered across the dusty floor, images of a family long forgotten, their faces frozen in expressions of terror. Among them was a portrait of a young girl with hollow eyes and a twisted smile, her presence sending a shiver down Sarah's spine. As they descended back into the main room, a sense of unease settled over the group like a suffocating fog. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and the air grew thick with an otherworldly presence. Sarah's friends cried out in fear as shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. With mounting horror, Sarah realized the truth: the cabin was not abandoned at all, but home to something far more sinister. The spirits of the dead had been awakened by their intrusion, and now they hungered for revenge. In a panic, Sarah and her friends fled for the safety of the forest, their screams echoing through the night as they raced through the trees. But the spirits pursued them relentlessly, their spectral forms twisting and writhing in the darkness. As they stumbled out of the forest, gasping for breath, Sarah glanced back at the cabin one final time. In the flickering light of the moon, she saw the young girl from the photograph standing in the doorway, her eyes burning with a hunger that chilled Sarah to the bone. And then, with a blood-curdling scream, the girl vanished into the night, leaving Sarah and her friends to wonder if they had truly escaped the horrors of Whispering Pines, or if they were merely the latest victims in a never-ending cycle of darkness and fear. As they made their way home, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. And as the echoes of their haunting experience reverberated through the forest, They knew that the legend of Whispering Pines would live on, a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture into its dark embrace. And so, the mysteries of the Whispering Pines remained, waiting for the next curious soul brave enough to uncover its secrets and face the darkness that lurked within.